Our next honorable mention on the Locked On Senators 2023 NHL Draft rankings is Denver Barkey from the London Knights.
This kid is a lot of fun to watch, Ross. I mean, and even if you're not a fan of the London Knights, which all other OHL teams are not fans of the London Knights, you can have fun watching Denver Barkey play because this kid he's small, but he sure is scrappy.
When you look at how he improved year over year, that's what jumped out to me. First thing I noticed from Denver Barkey, who stands 5'8", 155 pounds. And we're here to tell you why that does not matter with this player. 44-point increase from last year to this year. And Mark Mathod, a friend of the show who played under Dale Hunter at London or with London, and he tells us rookies don't play under Dale Hunter. Well, Oliver Bonk kind of busted that myth a little bit, but Denver Barkey kind of showed where ice time breeds opportunity to score points. And that's what he did with that increase. 59 points this year in 61 games, 22 goals over that span as well. And he caught the attention of Craig Button, who has him much higher than everybody else on our rankings, 52nd on his list. And then it's a bit of a drop-off. HockeyProspect.com has him at 62nd, Elite Prospects at 79, Chris Peters at 81, and Scott Wheeler at 83. Pilsy, this guy played the middle of the ice for most of the season, but you said that changed come playoffs.
Yeah, Scott Wheeler mentions that most of the regular season he was playing center, and then they switched him over to wing in playoffs. Now you might be thinking, oh, damn, switching a guy's position like that in playoffs, like, that's got to hinder him or at least make things difficult. Yeah, not for Denver Barkey. I mean, in 20 playoff games, he had 24 points. So more than a point per game clip come the playoffs. And this is the exact type of guy you want in the playoffs. He's someone that's going to piss off the other team. He plays a hard game. He's got a high motor. He's not afraid to take a hit to make a play, which for a guy that's 5'9", 160 or wherever we had him, like it says on the right here under notes, he plays like a 6'2" power forward, but he's not just all physical. As I mentioned, 24 points, 20 playoff games. Like, this kid can put the puck in the back of the net too. And he's a skilled playmaker that really has good hockey IQ to set up his teammates. So there's a lot to like about Barkey.
Oh, there's a ton to like. Offensively, especially for me, I think that he does a good job of keeping zone pressure going for longer periods of time, whereas some guys might just chip and change or whatever. He's always hard on the forecheck, and he loves getting his mitts dirty, which I can appreciate. And you always like to see that from guys who they're always going to be told that they're too small, they're this, they're that. But for them to go out there and just make it known that that's never going to be an issue with his game, I appreciate that about him. And I think he's in the perfect system to be able to grow longer. He's going to be back with London next year, maybe even the next year. But when you work as hard as this guy, you're going to give yourself the best opportunity to be a pro hockey player. I think he's going to spend a few years in the AHL as well. I don't think we're going to see him in an NHL uniform over the next 4 or 5 years, but I do think that if you're looking at not a late, but a mid-round swing on a player that you think could end up playing games, I love it. Now, we've kind of discussed this issue with a few other of the smaller players in the draft where it's like, yeah, they've been small their whole life. Yeah, they're able to put up points, but they've never played in the National Hockey League before. And at that point, it's like, if you're going to be that size, you have to be able to score too, because a coach just won't trust you as much, whether it's fair or not. A coach is going to lean on a guy with the size in a situation of a shutdown role a little bit more. And if you're going to make the NHL as a fourth liner, you're going to be expected to do those role player tasks that coaches still just don't trust smaller players to do. The league's getting smaller. There's no question. But how many of those small players, Pillsy, play on a fourth line? That's where Denver Barkey is going to have to defy the odds once again. But man, he's done it before.
Yeah, absolutely. This kid's all about defying the odds. And the thing is, Ross, yes, he is small, but he's smart. He does a really good job of being evasive. Like, these big guys that are a little slower than him, sure, they're stronger. And if they catch a piece of him, they can really do some damage. But he doesn't let that happen. And he doesn't put himself in positions to get hit as a smaller guy. He's so shifty out there. He's got good edge work. He's a strong skater. And he has the hockey IQ that he's not going to put himself in vulnerable positions. You're not going to see him skating across the ice with his head down, because I'm sure as a smaller kid, he's had to learn that lesson the hard way. And he's just at a point now where he's comfortable with his size and he knows how to make it not a detriment to his play. And like you mentioned, it's hard to get top quality ice time in the London Knights. They don't just hand that off. And he's someone that's earned his spot.
I love the industry chatter. The one quote that elite prospects got for their draft guide from an NHL scout on Denver Barkey: undersized underdog who keeps proving people wrong, and he might just do it at the next level too. Like, it's hard to bet against a guy who just keeps showing over and over that he will not be outworked. He will not be, pushed around despite the obvious smaller stature that he stands on. But man, this guy, just a kind of guy where even if you just bring him in at prospect camp, he's going to be pushing everyone to be better. He makes his teammates better with his own work ethic. And that's the type of player where if you're an organization that wants a culture of hard work and compete, he's going to bring it night after night.
Yep, absolutely. And Ross, I got a shades of player that I think you're going to like here, and I think it really works.
Nathan Gerbe?
Not Nathan Gerbe. I forget who I had shades of for Nathan Gerbe a little while ago, but it's a guy similar, Connor Garland. You look at Connor Garland right now at Hockey DB, he's only listed at 5'10", 165 as a 27-year-old. That doesn't stop him from having success in the NHL. He just put up with the Canucks 46 points and 52 points the year before, and he put up big numbers in junior, just like Denver Barkey is on the path to doing and already did last season. So I really see Connor Garland as a Denver Barkey type player.
Now,
or other way around, Denver Barkey as a Connor Garland type player.
Yeah, and Connor Garland was one of those guys where he started in Arizona, but because they were such a, below average team, we'll say nicely, no disrespect to the Arizona Coyotes.
No disrespect.
As Bruce Cassidy would say, he's a guy who was able to get opportunity in the top 6 pretty quickly. Or at least the top 9. He wasn't one of these shorter guys who stapled on a fourth line and just not given chances to succeed, right? In Connor Garland's second season in the NHL, he gets 22 goals and is averaging over 14 minutes a game. So does that work in favor of Denver Barkey if he goes to a team that maybe doesn't have the high upside talent in a top 3 line, where he's not going to be in a situation where a coach is having trouble justifying 7 minutes of him in a game? Maybe. But I think the path is going to be a long one for Denver Barkey. But like I said, just having him in your organization is going to make everyone around him better.
Yeah, and honestly, Ross, I'll say it. I think Arizona would be a great landing spot for Denver Barkey. Like, you look at Garland, he was drafted in the 5th round, 123rd overall in 2015 by the Arizona Coyotes. I don't think Barkey's going to fall that far. And I think if you're a team that is looking to, and you mentioned this, so I'll just echo it, looking to build some culture and really boost your prospects, get a guy like Barkey in there so that he gets everyone else. The compete level must rise when you have a scrappy little guy like Denver Barkey running around.
Like for the Ottawa Senators, and again, I don't know if he's in their range. 108th overall might be a little late for him, but I could also see him being there at 108. He would be a Jonathan Petro Award winner for the hardest worker at Dev Camp. That's the type of player you're getting with Denver Barkey, and a guy who I just think the sky's the limit when it comes to how he could affect a team from the inside. It's just, can he get the opportunity to get that from his pedigree with the London Knights? I mean, that's got to be something that kind of pushes him forward. If I'm making a call right now, I will say end of the 3rd round is when we hear Denver Barkey's name called.
Yeah, I got him late 3rd, early 4th, so I'm in a similar range.
Okay, that's Denver Barkey, forward with the London Knights, plays center, but look good on the wing. I think we'll see him as a winger at the next level. For more draft coverage, head over to Locked On Senators on YouTube. 70 draft profiles for you to choose from, and enjoy draft night in Nashville. We'll have a live stream going right beforehand, so make sure you check that out. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.